Hey, what's up? My name is Ollie, and in today's video I'm going to talk about feeling triggered and feeling intense sensations and how to handle it. So, a really common situation is being in traffic and someone is cutting you off. And if you really think about it, like, why is it that you're screaming at that person and really just can't handle your shit at that moment? Most of the time, what it means is that you're not spending enough time alone, and you're not spending enough time just sitting with yourself and feeling what is authentically in your body. So more specifically about that is when you're feeling triggered, you feel at unease within your own body, and different things that would make you angry, sad, or have a really strong emotional response before is really digging deep under your skin. So since we're talking about being triggered, that's a situation you can be triggered in. It can be in really good situations you can be triggered, or also in what we consider as bad situations, as for example, you lost your job and now you're thinking about, oh my god, how am I going to get money to get food, shelter, just everything that I need, since I've had this lifestyle of just being cushioned, and now I have to defend everything for myself and just everything around that. And that's the kind of situation where it's really important to start from being grounded. And what I mean by being grounded, it is that you're starting from a calm emotional state. So really right now, if you begin by closing your eyes and taking a deep inhale and then an exhale, and then you start putting your awareness starting at the top of your head, down your face, down your throat, down into your chest, into your stomach, down into your legs, all the way down to your feet. And once you're scanning your body like this, it can feel really difficult in the beginning to do this. But once you do it more and more, if you're accustomed to meditation, what will start happening is that you start noticing different parts of your body that is tensed. You can feel, for example, something I feel a lot is like you can feel it's like your stomach is just clenching, like something that's not supposed to be there. Like it could be that you've been feeling anger or these kind of sensations for a long period of time, so you're just numb to it. You're not even aware of what it's like to let go of that muscle. You're just always in a defensive state of just waiting for something bad to happen. And since you've been doing it for so long, and we feel so much pressure, and everyone is always talking about that it's selfish to, or that's sometimes what we feel like, it's selfish to spend time alone and just sitting there. Like, people will always motivate us to do things like, oh, you're feeling sad, let's go out and party, let's go out and do something, instead of actually diving a little bit deeper and figuring out what is it these sensations are coming from, what's the root cause behind it. Because if you sit with yourself for a while and you sit there, and even if it feels really uncomfortable, you're able to sit there, breathe through it, and feel whatever is there authentically. Because a lot of the problems that we have in our life is coming from the inability from us not sitting with ourselves and feeling whatever is there. Because most of the time you have a problem in your life and you're thinking all the time about what action can I take. But if you really would sit down, you would know what action you can take, like you know authentically. It might take a little while to just be accustomed to listen to your body again, because maybe you've been just ignoring that part of yourself for so long that you're not even aware of what is in there. But since you've come this far, imagine everything you've come through this far to come to this point right here, right now, where you are. Imagine all the hurt, the pain, all the moments that led up to this moment. You can handle so many amazing things, and that's part of being a human. It's part of handling that pain. And even if you didn't have the best parents, the best upbringing, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't determine who you are. It's the kind of actions that you take. So instead of taking actions and just rushing towards, I want to create a better life. Yes, that is amazing. But also spending that time early, preferably early in life, and figuring out what is your core motivations. But also, even if you're a little bit older, figuring out that it's never too late. Like, even if you're older, it is, from a lot of people I've heard, it's a lot more difficult the older you get, because you buy in more and more to your beliefs. And I'm just 24 at this time, but I notice the longer, or like the older I get, the more difficult it is to change certain things, because I've done it for such a long time. And just me suddenly changing that, what does that mean? Does that mean I've been doing this wrong for so long? And then your ego would just start to flare up, and you would just think like, wait, does that mean that when I've done this, I've been doing it wrong for so long? Like, that's one of the things we're so terrified of admitting that we're doing something wrong. And really, when you dive into these kind of things, especially doing shadow work, where you basically dive into the parts of your subconscious mind, or parts of yourself that you've disowned, or parts of yourself that you don't want to remember. That's also the times where you're going to see really the parts of you that you thought, like, this is it, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to be like for the rest of my life. And if you really have been doing that groundwork, you're going to see so many parts of your life change, because the core of who you are, with everything else that we're just holding on to, all these different beliefs and energies that have been going on for so long. Like, it might have been in school, you used to take on a certain role. Yeah, like, you might have been the quiet kid, you might have been the class clown, you might have had a specific, well, you not might have, you had a specific role, and that person that you were is not necessarily who you are for the rest of your life. But as long as you're triggered and you're operating from that framework that I'm taking action to react to what is happening around me, instead of taking it from a inner state of presence, that is going to mean that you're most likely not going to take the actions that are the most beneficial towards you. And since that is happening, that is going to mean that it's a lot more difficult. So since you're spending this time just really focusing on what is it that you want to do in your life, and spending that time really zoning in on that, now that you are aware of it, that's the perfect time to really dive into who it is you are at the core. So what I would challenge you to do is, I really love the book The Presence Process, because it's thoroughly explaining how to do this and how you can really let go of it. But so it's a Presence Process by Michael Brown, but if you want something that you can do as an exercise, you don't need to pay anything to do this. You can just sit down in a chair, preferably sitting upright, just sitting upright like that. And it's important to sit comfortable because your thoughts are most likely going to wander from side to side. So it's important to just sit down, breathe, and just feel whatever is there. So it's all just boiling down to spending time for yourself and just feeling whatever is in there. So it's as simple as that. So if you would spend just 10 minutes every single morning just sitting there, and you can just put in a timer, just sit there, breathe, and just see what comes up. Most of the time we're always just doing things all the time in order for us to really just escape and just always chasing the next thing. But I'm looking forward to hearing what your experience has been like. So I've been doing this for the last few months, and it's been absolutely incredible, the kind of ease I've felt within my body. So that's another part of it. Most of the time when you can measure results, it's by actually when you feel this ease within your body, because it means something is coming up from the past, and that's also when you have the possibility of working through it. So I'm looking forward to hearing what your experience has been like. So comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.